Hi. Hi, Dr. Meenu.
Yeah, hi. I'm here.
Great. You can check your video. Yeah, perfect.
Can you see me nicely?
Very well.
And here also.
Absolutely, very clear.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
So we started 4. There is supposed to be one person. I can see 2. I'm not sure.
Panditji is going to be here, no?
Pandit ji is supposed to be here, but I can see 2 people. Do you recognize the names?
I.
On top.
This one? This is somebody called Subha Srinivasan.
Yeah, so I'm just wondering.
Subbarao.
Subbarao. Maybe they've come, he's logging in from their ID, maybe?
I don't know, possibly.
So the format, I will just...
kindly please explain, because really I don't know anything. I was first told to prepare a kind of a talk, which I was doing, and then I was told it's going to be a conversation. So now...
Yeah, so there's a conversation between you and Pandit ji. It's called a fireside chat. It's just a casual conversation, and the topic is music, a strong unifying energy connecting cultures.
Correct.
I mean, I just do a basic introduction. I mean, just a single line, and then I close my video and audio. You both have to take the talk forward.
Do we need to start out with an introduction ourselves at all, or they would?
I will give a basic introduction. After that, if you would like to do something, it's fine. But you have 1 hour, and I will only come in the last 5 minutes when I will to give you an idea of the time, and I will announce some awards.
Okay. Okay.
So I think we just need to understand who's here.
I'm just looking. We still 3-4 minutes. I mean, I do hope must be his whatever, maybe,
And so we will give it a couple of minutes. And in case there is an issue, you start. You can do it as
I'll just start talking on the subject then.
Yeah, not to worry.
Okay, that's fine. Then I'll, okay.
So we have 3-4 minutes.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, everybody seems to be here, but I just don't know, they're not on video and audio. So
tell me your name also, please.
I'm Anjana.
Hi, Anjana.
And I'm the track moderator for this track. And this is my last session with you all.
Okay. And have you been sort of all day going on?
So, yeah. So I started at 1. They've split it up amongst different people and different tracks.
Okay.
So I have been on from 1.
And have you had viewers? I mean, is somebody watching? Is it?
So you see, I can't see that because I'm on this platform. So the system is also that they have this watch later. So if somebody misses the session, they can go to the
they're recording it for later watch.
And apart from today, you also can see the session on WEF TV.
Right. Okay.
It will take some days to upload, but it will be available there for you to share and watch. And it is on Facebook and YouTube currently. So people who are not getting on the platform. Live.
Oh.
Okay, see, now they have left and so let's wait.
The one with the fan type of.
So basically, there is no person asking you questions. You will just have a discussion, amongst
Yeah,
yourself.
yeah. No, I mean, if he comes in, of course, we'll just chat and we'll talk of different aspects. And he's a very, very classical kind of a singer. I'm more light and more of a teacher and a poet. So I'm sure we'll have some views common, some not so. It'll be okay. And if
Yeah,
he
I was reading
comes,
up about you and Panditji, and normally you don't find people in the south doing Hindustani classical, right?
yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah, because I'm from the north, and I always thought this was a North Indian form, and the North
True.
Indians sing it. And I saw yours also. Yours is also very interesting. My God, you've done a lot of albums and stuff, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mine
Punjabi
is
singer, Punjabi, right?
Punjabi, Urdu,
Yeah,
Sufi,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
everything.
Yeah, yours was and Spanish.
And Spanish, yes, of course.
I was, because this is something I didn't know much about. I wanted to read. See, we just hear music, we don't understand the nuances and things. And so I just was so, it was so interesting to read both your bios. His was, I saw a little bit on Facebook, but yours
Right.
bio was very interesting. And I promised myself that I'm going to listen to your music because I love listening to music. I go to the gym just to blast the music.
Nice. Then you must go into subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I've just actually last week I was in Bombay. I did a TED talk.
Okay.
So, which is not on you. It's on YouTube already by them. So we'll tell you much more about me.
Okay. Okay. Let me just try and see what happened to them.
So it should be sometime. Okay.
So he's joining. Lakshmi just spoke to him. So we'll wait for a couple of minutes. Doesn't matter. We are 2-3 minutes late.
Sure.
Let me just tell him, tell the host.
Nice.
So you do a lot of these talks. You said you just did a TED talk.
Yeah, I mean, they asked me, so I did it. So
what did you talk about?
When I was part of WEF in Egypt, so I was a plenary speaker at one of their, again, it was a cultural kind of a theme.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Did you manage to catch any sessions today?
No. I have my own classes. I'm still teaching at the JNU, so I do my.
Oh yeah, you're from Delhi, right? I read that. So I'm also a Delhi girl. I was born and brought up there. I came to Bangalore after I got married, but for everything, I still go back to Delhi. My mom's there, my husband's family is there.
Oh, nice.
All of my school friends, college friends, everything is from Delhi. But of course, I love Bangalore.
Do you enjoy being in Bangalore?
I love Bangalore. I wouldn't trade it for anything, I mean, someone has to
be back to Delhi.
No, Delhi especially. I love the food. I love the shopping, but I can't deal now with the aggressiveness and the attitude,
traffic, and
no, traffic is bad in Bangalore too. But
pollution, I don't know how it is in Bangalore, but Delhi pollution is terrible.
Oh, so I was in Delhi right now in November when the pollution was really bad. I'd come to attend a wedding. And, normally we'd get up and we go sit out in the veranda. But this time I was still in bed till 10 o'clock. I was telling my friends, I'm still in bed till 10 o'clock because, you're not supposed to go out and sit, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So, I mean, now there is an air purifier in the room. And, these are like required now. Okay. So I think he's joining.
He's joining in.
So I will hardly take 1 minute. The floor is yours after that. And I'll come in the last 5 minutes.
Thank you.
I won't repeat it for him. So, you take control.
Yeah.
Welcome, Panditji. You are on mute.
Got it. So you're being live streamed.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm muted. Yeah, got it, sir. Yeah, I'm there. Come. Yeah.
Welcome back, friends, for a fantastic session. This is a very special session. It's a fireside chat. And the topic is music, a strong unifying energy connecting cultures. We have two very eminent personalities with us today. We have Pandit Dr. Nagaraja Rao, who's a leading vocalist, Hindustani classical music. And we have Dr. Meenu Bakshi, a poet, a singer, a professor of Spanish, social worker, and the founder of Rikta. Welcome, both of you. It's such an honor for us to have you here. And now I'm going to hand over the stage to both of you to take the discussion forward. I'm going to just be listening and I'm going to mute myself. So over to you, both of you.
Thank you. Panditji, namaskar.
Namaste, Meenuji. Namaste, everybody. I thank the organizers for bringing us together to share our wonderful experience in the field of music and art and how it can be a great uniting force.
May I just start off with saying that I am not the founder of Rekta. So I'm a founder of Savera Association, which is a charity organization. So that's a mistake. Founder of Rekta is Mr. Sanjeev Saraf. So I'd like to first make that correction. And yes, Panditji, you can start off the conversation.
Well, as it is somewhere very beautifully said, the music starts where speech ends. So of course it does not refer to our speeches today because we have to connect music and the people together through the speech because it's not a concert per se, but what exactly it says is like what the normal mundane language cannot express, music can express. That's the reason why man takes to music. There are even several anthropologists who even want to say that probably the man or the human species probably sang before it started speaking. That is, of course, for the anthropologists to prove it any further. But come to think of my own experience, music is a great unifying force and it's a universal truth, I can say, because no matter where do we live, what food practices we follow, which dress we wear, which geographical boundary we belong to, there are only 7 notes in the entire world, 7 musical notes in the entire world. We call it as sa re ga ma pa da ni sa ni ra pa ma ga re sa, becomes do re mi fa sol la ti do is the C major scale in the Western music. Therefore, one great unifying factor is music. The C major scale can be Bilawal or Shankarabharana in the Carnatic system, or the Rakirwani can be melodic minor. So you can go on drawing parallels between the West and the East. And I know your pedigree and your wonderful experience in the field of folk music. In fact, folk music has probably been the mother of all forms of music. That's where it comes from, and we further fine tune it and give it a shape and an order, and therefore it gets transcended into a classical raga. I request you to.
No, for me, first, if we start defining music, I mean, the first word that comes to me in my head is that music is emotion.
Indeed.
So if you can't express in words, you express in music. You can do it as a celebration, for joy, for sorrow, for suffering, for dance, for communication. It's bonding, it's binding, it's spiritual, it's nirvana. So it is all in all, I would say music you can define as love. And it just does, then it transcends all borders. So that means every emotion can be expressed through music. And because I'm a teacher of Spanish, and when we have students who come, and they come from different regions within the country and from abroad as well. So even before we start teaching the language, we first play the flamenco music. I'm talking specifically of Spanish because that's my my subject.
Yeah.
And when you play that music, and then you see all children from whichever background they may have come, then you see them moving, you see them swaying, you see them looking at each other. But the emotions that it brings about are the same. They may come from wherever. So once that happens, you've already connected the cultures. And then beyond that, we start talking of the language and stuff. So it is such a strong binding force that, and especially like when you say folk music, we start talking about folk music, people's music. There's no art form. It started telling stories, telling ballads, telling whatever feats of people, and was handed down year after year for generations. So it is something that came. And of course, the classical music that you are truly a pioneer in is, of course, an art form which has been developed over time. So let's talk a little bit about the folk, and you could tell us a little bit and the audience more about the main classical music as you know it best.
Yeah, in fact, as you rightly put it, if you want to take the example of our mythology, like Abhimanyu was responding from the womb. He heard Krishna how to enter the Chakravyuha, and Prahalad, another character who would hear Narada and chant the name of Hari. Of course, even nowadays, all the medical fraternity has proven the fact that the children respond from the womb itself. So therefore,
that's right.
Yeah. So therefore, once the child is born, I'm sure आप भी लोरी गाते हैं.
जी.
And so does the people in the southern part of India, जिसको हम जोगड़ा कहते हैं. So that child at that age, 2 months, 3 months, or 6 months year old, it does not understand any language, no matter which language you are singing in.
Right, right.
But it basically responds to the tune and it goes to sleep, as simple as that. So right from that, music connects to anybody and everybody. And to give you an example of my own experience, I was visiting UK. I was in London. I was staying in one of my friend's house, and incidentally, their house was being renovated. They were changing the wallpaper. So a lot of people were working there of the local origin.
Right.
I was doing my riyaz every day. So one fine morning, that gentleman came and requested me, Panditji, of course, in whatever language you could speak, not necessarily Panditji, sir, you were practicing one particular song on Monday, if you could kindly repeat it. He was unable to recall either the name of the raga, obviously, he didn't know it, nor the lyric. So if you could re-sing that tune, I'll be very grateful. I said, I just recalled, okay, I have been practicing Rag Bhairav for the last 1 week. तो उसी को पूछ रहे हैं. तो राग भैरव का एक छोटा सा झलक भी हम आपको सुनाएंगे, because I am sure so many other people here. Sa re ga ma pa dha ni sa ni dha pa ma ga re sa. Isme Rishabh or Dhaivat, the second and the sixth are flat, and they're also oscillating. And I call this art form a scientific art and an artistic science. Our classical art forms, they're basically they're a scientific art and an artistic science, because Rag Bhairav is highly standardized. Whether you're singing in Delhi, whether you're singing in Dharwad, whether you're singing in California or Banaras, once you say Rag Bhairav, your harmonium player will start accompanying you.
Absolutely.
And once you say Rag Tal, Teen Tal, it is 16 bits, it's fixed.
Yeah.
It's not 17 bits in Delhi and 14 bits in Bangalore. So therefore, it's a very, very highly systematized art form and with a lot of scientific principles behind. So more so Rag Bhairav, you start with the tonic note, the next flat note.
Yeah.
Then you go to the next major note, sa re ga, ga, ma. The next adjacent note. Sa, re, ga, ma, pa. You go to the natural note. Then sing the next adjacent note. Pa, dha, ni, sa. So like that. So let me not go too much into the grammar of it, but see, this rag is sung in the morning hours,
Right.
and our ancestors, our musicians of the past have been so thoughtful. They interwoven a lyric which speaks about the morning theme. It says,
Right.
Jago mohan pyare tum. So they're trying to wake up child Krishna, who is pretending to be sleeping. It's very easy to wake up somebody who is genuinely sleeping. But if somebody is pretending, the more you try to wake them up, the more they fall asleep. So, jago, 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 jago. आप एक ही शब्द को बार बार और किसी तीसरी चौथी तरह आपको यूज कर सकते हैं.
Yeah, but you do it within your parameters of.
Indeed, well within the structure
Of course, you
the
have to
rag.
do it within. Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely. So therefore, it is science because you don't cross the boundary.
Quite right.
It's an art because you keep doing sa re ga jago sa ga re mohan ga ma re ga ma pa ga ma re mohan. So like this.
Yeah.
So this becomes a scientific art and an artistic science. And the best part is, you see, we also have a rag called Darbari Kara, as you wanted me to speak a little about. So it is sung late in the night.
That's right.
Okay. So there in the composition, there is nothing to wake you up. The composition says, Samajhat na man tumhera lakh baar samjhavat hu main काहे न कटत अंधेरा समझत न. It's all about introspection.
Quite right.
He's addressing his own self or her own self. Why don't you understand? ये darkness मतलब रात की darkness नहीं. अंधेरा is of ignorance, of not realizing yourself.
Yeah.
Why this does not go away. So therefore, for every occasion, as you said, for every emotion, music lends itself. I'm sure you have hundreds of tales coming from the folk music and the Spanish background.
Yes, of course. I mean, so just like when I first time went to Spain and first time heard the gypsy music, for me, it was like I'd come home. It felt so much part of our lives. And it was exactly like that, with variations, of course. Because of course, historically, they say that the gypsies went from Rajasthan through Central Asia and then reached Andalusia, and they were called Romanas there. That's what in Spanish they are called gitanas. So there is a lot of things that they carried with them on the way, and I think India is there in somewhere. So when their music, the way they sing it, reminds us really of our own classical music here in India, and you feel the bonding straight away. So for me, going to Spain was such a great experience because I felt, oh my God, this is my own country because of the music. It's a huge binding force, there's no question. And then so many songs, Spanish songs, for example, I mean, there is this Mexican song that is very famous, which is Bésame Mucho, which is a Mexican bolero actually. And when I was singing that song and the notes, you'd be surprised, they came from like Kirwani, and I can give you a little example. For example, it goes like this,
Please.
Bésame, bésame mucho, como si fuera esta noche la última vez. ये समा है ये प्यार का, के इंतजार का, दिल ना चुरा ले कहीं मेरा, मौसम बहार का, समय. So it's like it's a Sampurna rag in itself. I mean, it
Yes.
was quite, and like this, you find many examples.
Yeah.
Somewhere we're all connected. We're all connected. All cultures are connected. I mean,
Indeed.
later in the talk, maybe I'll mention a few more songs, but please.
Well, yeah, come to think of the importance of music across the all geographical barriers,
Yes, yes.
I have been an ambassador of our Indian classical music to several countries, several times. To be more precise, I have visited USA 20 times because there are more NRIs over there.
Sure.
In fact, I taught one full semester in Elmhurst University, Chicago. So it so happened that they were all music major students. The coordinator of the course, one Professor Mark Harbord, he has visited India many times. He's heavily into Indian classical music to the extent in South India, in Tiruvayar, they perform Tyagaraja Aradhana, जैसे आप तानसेन की ये बनाते हैं. Tyagaraja Aradhana, he has attended it 6 times.
Wow.
As a South Indian, I have not gone there even once. I should submit that. Not out of intention, but it does not happen. Yeah. So therefore, he is very deeply involved and interested. And Professor Mark heard my concert in Chicago once. Then I also make it a point to speak about our music before I start singing, just to give them an appraisal of what I'm going to sing, how it appeals. So he said, Panditji, if we could jointly design a course for our music major students. I said, wonderful, sir, we'll do it. Happily we'll do it. So we did design a course, and I was invited to teach in the Elmhurst University. It so happened that one of the students was Dr. John, who was 75. He was a retired dentist. He was 75 years of age, a retired dentist. I had visited India a few times. He had gone to Banaras, he had gone to Chennai, he had come to Bangalore. He was familiar with Indian culture, food, music, so on and so forth. So he was very ambitious to enroll for that course, Dr. John. So he did enroll to that course as a student, but with an MOU, with a memorandum of understanding, saying that he will not be compelled to sing at the end of the semester because his voice would not cooperate. But he wanted to know the inner layers, the undercurrent, the do's and don'ts of Indian classical music in that semester. So he was allowed to attend. So it was wonderful. He would be the first student to come and sit in the front row. Afterwards, all the music majors would come, the young people. So it was a beautiful experience. After the end of the semester, they gave me a small token send-off party. And Dr. John gave a send-off speech. He said, Havaldar, yesterday night, Jesus came in my dream and he told me, John, now there is a seat booked for you in the heaven because you have attended a course on Indian classical music. तो उसका मतलब ये नहीं कि मैं महान हूँ. It's not about me. It's about our music. So he was so passionate. किसी बहाने किसी तरफ इसके बारे में कुछ जानकारी जाना चाहते थे, तो उसको थोड़ा सा मिल गया. So he is so grateful that look, Jesus came to me and he told me this. So this credit goes to our music, not just to me. I'm just a representative.
You were the medium, but yeah, it goes to music, no doubt.
Yeah, so therefore, this is the kind of impact this music can leave across the borders.
No, of course, I mean, in the 70s or 60s, when Ravi Shankar ji was in America, look at how he popularized the sitar. Then his daughter is doing now, Anushka Shankar. She's done this fabulous album with flamenco music on the one side and the sitar. So with the singing as well. So it's a fabulous amalgamation of 3 different cultures, and it comes across beautifully, and everybody really reacts to this. And also, I just feel that music, it's something that when it is a calamity, a tragedy, anything in the world, it's music that binds people together.
Indeed.
I mean, when there was this Africa famine, that they made this song, We Are the World, which was, I think, Michael Jackson and Lionel Richie, and global, across the board, every singer was part of that. And they made $50 million to help that. Or for the song that was the Spanish, again, it was the Cuban song Guantanamera, which I think everybody sang for change. So it's only the music which comes handy. And even now during the pandemic, everywhere, to unite people, the only force is music. It doesn't matter what language you are speaking in, really.
Yeah.
In our own country, for national integration, Mile Sur
Mera Tumhara.
Mera Tumhara.
हाँ
And
जी, हाँ जी.
every singer in every language, every state.
Yes, that's
I
right.
mean,
Yeah, in fact,
why don't you sing a little bit of that, Panditji?
Bilkul. In fact, that tune was done by my Param Guruji, my Guru's Guru Pandit Bhimsen
Bhimsen Joshi
Joshi.
Saab, right?
Yeah, हाँ जी. The lyric was written by Mr. Pandey and Piyush Pandey, if I'm right. So it so happened that he took it to Pandit Bhimsen ji. He said, "Okay, chalo, हम कुछ सोचते हैं इसके बारे में." And one more most important information about that particular composition and the whole production is none of the artists took any professional charge for that.
Wow.
None of them, right from Bhimsen Joshi to Kamal Hassan to Balmurli ji to anybody and everybody. There was sports person like Prakash Padukone was there, Arun Lal was there, you name it, they were there. So therefore, it was one true national integration based on Rag Bhairavi. So it was like this. मिले सुर मेरा तुम्हारा, मिले सुर मेरा तुम्हारा, दो सुर बने हमारा, तू गंगा की मौज में जमुना की धारा. Another face of Rag Bhairavi.
Bhairavi, absolutely.
लागा चुनरी में दाग, छुपाऊं कैसे, लागा चुनरी में दाग, चुनरी में दाग छुपाऊं कैसे, घर जाऊं कैसे, लागा चुनरी में दाग. Another face of Rag Bhairavi. मीठे बोल बोले बोले पायलिया, मीठे बोल बोले पायलिया, मीठे बोल बोले छुम छनन बोले, झनक झन बोले, मीठे बोल बोले. ऐसे राग भैरवी के आप हजारों बंदिशें गा सकते हैं.
Yeah. I mean, as is in Yaman, as is in, I mean,
Yaman
has the most beautiful Bollywood creations, most beautiful.
Well, Yaman को हम सहस्त्रमुखी कहते हैं, which has 1,000 shades. Just to introduce you to some of the beautiful bandishes in Yaman.
Yeah.
पहले उसका स्केल एक झलक.
जी.
नि रे गा मा धनि सा नि रा प म ग प रे नि धनि रे सा. इसको राग कल्याणी कहते हैं साउथ इंडियन म्यूजिक में, कर्नाटक म्यूजिक में. नि रे गा मा धनि सा नि रा प म ग रे सा. So Yaman can take you to a very, very beautiful, gentle, romantic mood.
Yes.
जब दीप जले आना, जब शाम ढले आना. So also film music, they could sometimes take the liberty of adding both the madhyams. So it becomes Yaman Kalyan.
Yeah, but they don't. That's okay. I think for light music, that's fine. It's fine.
Yeah. Then so from this gentle romance to Yaman can take you to introspection, totally contrasting mood.
Right.
Man re tu kahe n dheer dhare, nirmohi moh n jaane, jinka moh kare pare. So that's the nucleus of Rag Yaman.
Yes.
From there, it can take you to melancholy. मुकेश जी का गाया हुआ। आंसू भरी है ये जीवन की राह, कोई उनसे कह दे तो मैं भूल जाऊं, तो भूल जाए जी। फ्रॉम
क्या बात।
दिस जिंदगी भर नहीं भूलेगी वो बरसात की रात। And one very famous Telugu film song, Dorakuna Ituvanti Seva. This is from film Shankarabharanam. Dorakuna Ituvanti Seva. One more Telugu song. జోరు మీదున్నావు తుమ్మెదా, నీ జోరెవరి కోసమే తుమ్మెదా, ధని గమదని సాని మగరి సా. The classical form would be epic rendition. शाम बजाए आज मुरलिया, शाम बजाए आज मुरलिया, वे अपनो आधरन गुनिसो, जोगी जंगम यति सखी और गुनी मुनि सब नर नारी मिल मोहलियो है, मन रंग तर से शाम बजाए, शाम बजाए शाम. So you can go on and on with Yaman.
Actually, music is therapy. It's really therapy. It moves people. It connects people. It pulls at your heartstrings. So it works. It's medicinal. It works like
Indeed.
medicine.
Indeed, indeed. In fact, to be more honest with you, to share with you, I live in Bangalore, and one of the premier institutions for mental health, Nimhans,
Yes, yes.
in Bangalore. For the
Mhm.
first time, we had an official collaboration with Nimhans and a trained musician like me. So we did an audio project, audio CD of 8 ragas, all 10 minutes each. Of course, as you know, we can sing one raga for 40 minutes or 15 minutes given the
Yeah.
mood. But here, to suit the needs of the children who had behavioral problems.
I see.
So we took 8 different ragas, different compositions, sang for about 10 minutes each. And those compositions were played for those kids for about 40 days.
Wow.
Continuously. One day in the school atmosphere, other day they took to a seashore, next day they took to a temple, next day in a garden, next day in their own house. So out of 40 days, they had a beautiful listening experience of all those compositions again and again. Some children started singing them, some
Nice.
parents started singing them. So those children have shown immense change and positive change in their behavior. What else?
Sorry.
And I have a good number of doctors who are learning music from me.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so they very politely conceded, yes, Dr. Havalda, in our operation theater, our music class is pretty much on. We turn the recording on and treat the patients. As simple as that.
You know that Deepak Chopra, who's the poet, prophet of alternative medicine, he and of cultural force. So what he did was also take Rumi's poetry, had all kinds of global singers with Middle Eastern music, and he compiled this beautiful album called Gift of Love, which was really for healing patients. And then even Plato, right in the beginning, said that music is a moral law.
Yeah.
It gives soul to the mind and which gives flight to the imagination. So how powerful a tool is it?
Indeed. Indeed.
I mean, even Shakespeare said that if music be food of love. So
Yeah.
it's all, it can turn tears to laughter. It can take
Shakespeare even said, if king loved music, there will be less violence or no violence in the country.
Possibly. It has a has what you call the transformational power. So it's very, I mean, look at how it brings people together. You know, when A.R. Rahman did that Jai Ho, I mean, it took the world by storm. It had a Spanish version, it had an English version, all over the world.
Yeah.
So music can really, really do wonders. And as I said, it's medicinal. It helps. It's therapy. It's whether you are celebrating, whether you're mourning, whether you are. I mean, it's just it's amazing. I mean, we are blessed. Everybody who can have, and I don't think there's anybody in the world who will not be enjoying music. It's universal question.
Yeah. Yeah. Indeed.
Children learn songs before they learn language. So that
Indeed.
repetitive value of
Yeah.
music makes it very easy, for them to learn a new language altogether.
Yeah, in fact, the music, as you rightly said, it is learnt in 3 different stages. The first stage is imitation, as you said, even before they know the language.
Exactly.
They start imitating the songs that are sung by the mother or the father or anybody in the family.
Right.
The next stage is repetition. You keep repeating the same song again and again and again till you get tired of this. Then the third stage is creation, provided you go to a good guru. You go to a guru, hone your skills, sharpen your skills. So imitation to repetition to creation. That's one part. And
what about the devotional part? It's also that spiritual part. I mean, music
absolutely.
is totally spirituality. So that I think is one major element. All religions, if you see, the chanting is musical. Whether it's in our 6 scriptures, we do the Shabbats, we sing them. The
Right.
bhajans are sung, the choirs sing there. The Bible is sung. So
Yeah.
there has to something about it that takes you to another plane and another level.
Indeed. In fact, that is very true to the South Indian saints also.
I see.
Like Purandar Das, Kanak Das, Jagannath Das, or the music trinities of Carnatic music, all Tyagaraja, Shama Shastri, Dikshithar. The content of their music, the content of the lyric is all devotional.
Right.
Because bhakti is probably the strongest. That is the culmination of your entire personality to submitting yourself to another being. Could be a friend or God or anybody.
I mean, look at Meera, the way she did, all she did was sing, no?
Absolutely. Yeah. In fact, there are very many Purandaradas compositions which say, इस कलयुग में आप हरि का नाम गाओ, बस आपको और कोई याग यज्ञ करने का कोई जरूरत नहीं है, आप हरि का नाम ले लो बस. तो इसीलिए और एक बंदिश है ना, वेरी जो भजे हरि को सदा, जो भजे हरि को सदा, सो ही परम पद पावेगा, सो ही परम पद पावेगा. This was Brahmanand's composition popularized by Pandit Bhimsen Joshi ji. Yeah. And there is a lovely anecdote attached to this particular composition.
Please let us hear it.
Yeah, everybody would be inspired by this. I keep because this is Rag Bhairavi, I normally sing it at the end of the concert. So before that, I narrate this anecdote. Pandit ji, apart from being a wonderful musician, he was a very passionate driver.
I see.
He loved cars. There was a time the people would count the speed of his car and the speed of his tans. कौन बहुत फास्ट जा रहे हैं, उसके ताने या उसके कार जी. So once he was driving along with the full team. He finished the concert in some place. I forget the name of the place. It was 9:30 late in the evening. So they finished the concert and they were to give a concert next morning at 10 o'clock. It was roughly around 7-8 hours drive. So the whole team started driving to that destination. And it so happened that they go to a nearby petrol bunk. The gentleman in the petrol bunk recognizes Pandit ji. Sir, मैं आपका गाना सुना हूँ, ये मेरा सौभाग्य समझता हूँ कि आप यहाँ आ गए, बहुत खुशी की बात है. लेकिन I gather from your conversation that you people are going towards this direction, and this national highway is very notorious for road robbers. So you are the pride of our nation, my dear sir. So I don't recommend that you should be driving now. And well, my petrol bunk is not a 5-star hotel anyway, but I can make some basic arrangements for you to stay back, and you could proceed tomorrow morning. Well, music becomes a socio-cultural responsibility. once you have adopted to be a musician, agree to be a musician, so it's not just for yourself. You become a part of the society. If you have to sing at an appointed hour, you just have to go and sing. You cannot delegate somebody there.
Quite right.
So पंडित जी said, देखो मैं आपकी कदर करता हूँ, आपने बहुत ये दिया हमारे लिए, उपदेश भी दिया, but well, I have to sing tomorrow morning 10 o'clock. They're waiting. So देखा जाएगा, जो होगा सो होगा, हम ड्राइव करते हैं. So they started driving. So past midnight, as they crossed the city limits and entered the lonely Ghat section of the national highway, they were virtually attacked by a set of road robbers with all kinds of weapons in their hands. You can't see them in the Hindi movie also. So they were asked to get out of the car. Everybody, the harmonium, tabla players, everybody were shivering. Pandit ji was very quiet, and one of the co-artists said, "Arey, hum to gaane wale hai, bhai, chhod do, hamare paas kuch nahi hai. Don't harm us, don't beat us." Then when he said, "Hum gaane wale hain," he peeped into the car and he saw the tanpura. "Arey, main ye tanpura bhi dekh raha hu." So utna to sanskar tha usko.
He recognized the instrument.
To recognize the tanpura.
जी.
हाँ, तानपुरा भी है और उसके साथ साथ पंडित भीमसेन जोशी भी है. अरे भीमसेन जी, क्या बात है. तो he will request पंडित जी to get out of the car and falls at his feet. पंडित जी, 40 साल पहले आप हमारे स्कूल आए थे. You gave an immortal concert for about 6 hours, and at the end you sang one bhajan. I don't remember the name of the ragas that you sang, but that bhajan has left an immortal, indelible impact on my heart and soul. तो आप उसको एक बार मेरे सामने गा दीजिए. It has been my life's dream to come and listen to you in a live concert, but well, Pandit ji, my professional compulsion as a thief, I can't come to the city. Once I am there, I am behind the bars. So please, आप मेहरबानी करके वो गाइए. Could you kindly sing that song? ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं, चलो गाएंगे. So he sang this, जो भजे हरि को सदा.
What a nice story. It's a very, very nice story.
Then, so instead of looting them, so he offered everything that he had looted for the whole day to this musician's team. ये पंडित जी, हमारे तरफ से भेंट स्वीकार कर लीजिए. I don't know whether it is less or more, but kindly accept this. So this is a true story. So if you see, what we normally do is, classical music is buzurgo ke liye, it's for elderly people, senior citizens, not for youngsters, not from any section of the society, etc., etc. No, not like that. Anybody can admire.
No, I think it is, and now the youth is very much getting back to listening to classical music. I think there is a huge need also, and I think people are coming in. The youngsters are coming in because the other music is short-lived. This one stays with you forever.
Yes, exactly. That's true.
But Pandit ji, can you shall we talk a little bit about the difference about Western classical music a little bit and Indian classical music, just for the audience?
Indeed, definitely, yes. To the best of my understanding, though I have not studied Western music methodically, I have heard it immensely, a lot more. Sure. Also, my interaction with several professors in the West.
Right.
So, but for the jazz, the typical Western classical music per se, there are 3 people involved there. In the sense, 3 agencies, if we can use that word.
Right.
One is the composer, it could be Beethoven or Mozart or Chopin or anybody.
Yeah.
So one 9th Symphony of Mozart, let us say.
Right.
Then there is a conductor.
Right.
Looking at this score sheet, and he's conducting the whole team. And the 3rd set of people is the actual performers. The composer, the conductor, and the performers. In the context of Indian classical music, to be honest, I don't know who is the composer of Rag Bhairav.
Yeah.
It has been handed over to me by my guru to his like that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's come down.
Nobody knows the antiquity of these ragas. You cannot precisely fix the date. Myself being a student of history and archaeology, जहाँ पर आप किसी पुराने पत्थर को C14 डेटिंग से उसका एज बता सकते हैं. Here, Rag Bhairav, nobody knows. But it has been handed over, it has been preserved. So, and the bandish that is given to me is 1 or 1.5 minutes.
Quite right.
Be it the lyric or the swara movements.
True.
So, after 1.5 minutes, you are the composer, you are the conductor, and you are the performer, all rolled into one.
Yes.
This is a striking difference between the West and the Indian classical music. I'm not saying something is superior to this.
No, not at all. It's just the difference. I mean, and they have the staff notation, they have a written text, and they
Yeah.
cannot, whereas in our case, we can improvise within the parameters, but we have the freedom to improvise, take one line 100 times and differently within those same notes and within those
Indeed.
ragas.
Indeed.
They have to follow. Plus,
Yeah.
it's polyphonic. Ours is a bit of a monophonic.
Yeah.
They have harmonies, and they have. It's different. It's different. But nowadays you see that Western music has been used in Indian music, in Bollywood very much, and their sounds and the harmonies and the drone shifts and everything. It can be mixed, isn't it?
Yeah, well, as a student of history and archaeology, I can very politely submit again that since we were ruled by the Britishers for close to 2 centuries,
Right.
officially we were ruled by them.
Right.
So their music stayed here. And also the production of Indian cinema started during those times itself.
Correct.
So a lot of the Western musicians took part in the Indian film orchestration.
Right.
So therefore, a lot of old movie songs, you can see the impact of Western music very deep. Yes.
Some are straight. I don't know if they were
Some tunes are just
like that, or they are just straight lifts. I have a very interesting Spanish song which has a lovely Indian song. The Spanish song is from, I think, 1947, which I'd like to just sing a little bit, and the Hindi counterpart, and it can be quite interesting. So the Spanish song is actually Cuban, and which is that quizás, 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 which is so I'll just do the bit of a Spanish version. So it says, siempre que te pregunto que cuándo, cómo y dónde, tú siempre me respondes, quizás, 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 babuji dire chalna, घर में जरा संभलना. So it blends, like it flows one into the other. There's that, and then we have that Cliff Richard English song, which was I think Theme for a Dream, which now recently Munna Bhai, which was that you are my theme for a dream, yes you are a fair and lovely theme, you're a theme. Pal 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 pal.
La, 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 la.
Yeah. So I don't know if they are straight lifts off or whatever, but you see that it's a great amalgamation. You can have it.
Yeah. There are quite a few South Indian songs also, South Indian movie songs also, which they directly borrow from the Western notation. So therefore, there's a lot of give and take between the Western music and Indian film music. They like the use of instruments like guitar, bass guitar, the cellos, the piano, the accordion.
The accordion. I think the accordion came back way when the Western, I think it started with the accordion.
Yeah. So therefore, there's a lot of give and take, and which is a healthy sign actually. And it is used with a perfect sense of balance and proportion to add to the beauty of the song. So therefore, it's a very healthy sign actually.
But let's also talk, Panditji, I think before, I don't know how much time we have another 10 minutes. So what is it? I think we all imbibe some very beautiful qualities with music that come from within, if you are a musician or if you are hearing good music or practicing good music, which I could, from my sensibility, discipline can be one, because when you train like you do, there is a discipline. You cannot move away from that. There is a consistency that you have to do that. There is a patience till you get to the right, every time you have to try 1,000 times. So you have to be patient. It gives you that. It gives you time management in terms of if you have to perform for half an hour, it is within that time. Of course, the creativity, because every time you're the rags have just that much that you have, and so you how to make it different when you sing it every time. So there is the element of creativity.
Yeah.
There is the element of thinking on the spot.
Yeah.
How to
Spontaneity.
absolutely working within some notes, and then how to communicate, because
And
I'm sure on a given day you communicate your feelings through your music.
the team.
I'm just outline what I think we do imbibe as musicians. I would like your take.
Yeah, you also develop the skills like the team management.
Right. Okay.
What we speak in the corporate world nowadays.
Yeah.
You have your harmonium and tabla and team, a fixed team, and
Right.
you're performing locally.
Right.
And if you go to Kolkata, you are singing with a different team.
Sure. Right.
And suddenly in 10 minutes, you gel with them and you come up with a wonderful performance. And each one of them will try to complement to their respective strength, not to pull them down, on the contrary.
Right. So give each one their moment through that's a very, very important aspect. Yeah.
Yeah, the team management. And to tell you, music basically, be it any form.
Yeah.
According to me, the greatest quality that you can imbibe, you can learn from music is honesty, absolute honesty.
Wow. Right.
यहाँ तक के मैं आपको कुछ गा के सुनाता हूँ.
Please.
Ma pa ni sa ni pa ma re sa. ये रहा राग मधुमात सारंग का आरोह. Sa re o शुद्ध शब्द. That's the natural second note in the Western context. Sa re ma pa ni sa ni pa ma re sa. Just because either your voice did not cooperate or you wanted to do something different, and if you sang a different note, sa re ma pa ni sa ni pa ma re ni re sa yo pa ma yatanam veda. So this became Rag Bairagi Bhairav. By shift of half a note, so therefore, the first quality you learn is you are just being honest to that note.
It's a difficult one, but
yeah. If you did something else, it will become something else. Like your email ID, you change one dot, it will go elsewhere.
So perseverance also is a huge thing that will come with learning music, no?
Along with this, मैं आपको एक किस्सा सुनाना चाहता हूँ, which would appreciate immensely. All our listeners would immensely appreciate this, because you can emulate so many things from the lives of musicians. जैसे हमारे परम गुरु जी भीमसेन जी, उनके बारे में मैं किताब भी लिखा हूँ. So he had been for a concert in Kerala when he was in his mid-50s.
Okay.
So he tuned the tanpura and got ready for the concert. And जैसे आप जैसे कोई रसिक गण, one very fine listener, connoisseur. So she came and asked, Pandit ji, aaj rag jog gai. There is a rag called jog.
Yes, of course.
हाँ जी. So he could have given a very evasive answer. आज हमारा मूड नहीं है, I will sing something else. आप उसको सुन के चले जाइए, बस कोई बात नहीं. But he didn't do that. Instead, he made a public confession in the microphone. Look, my dear, I have not learned Rag Jog properly.
Oh, wow.
Rag Jog में हमको ठीक से तालीम नहीं मिली है. मैं वैसे उस राग को सुना हूँ, सुन के कितना गा सकता हूँ उतना तो गा सकता हूँ. I can just sing it just by hearing, but not to its profound depth.
Right.
So therefore, I don't want to give a hodgepodge presentation.
Wow.
So I'm sorry, I'm not going to sing that. Instead, he also said, if I'm called next year to this festival,
I will sing it.
I'll sing it, I'll come prepared. And he even told them, not that I'm putting you an application that you should call me next year also. No, that's not the purpose.
No, of course.
If at all I came, I will. So that concert was, he sang some other rag and it was a beautiful rendition. Everybody clapped and went. Incidentally, he was invited to the same festival next year also. And this time, he makes an announcement himself.
Oh, nice.
Last year, I was asked to sing Rag Jog by a Rasika. One of the Shrota, he had asked me to sing Rag Jog. This time, I have come prepared. I have gone to a junior musician because he is the best in that Rag. So I have taken proper talim and I'm going to sing Rag Jog. So what else you want? Honesty, sincerity, perseverance, you name it, you have all these qualities.
Time management, patience, discipline, hard work.
Everything.
And big picture, to see the big picture, you work for years and you're looking at that final picture where you will get.
Yeah, and also not wanting to give a hodgepodge presentation either.
Exactly.
So these are the qualities that we imbibe from this great art form.
That's right. No, also, I think music and songs serve as a time capsule because they within a period, whatever music is created tells you about that particular time, the genre, the language, the cultural aspects, the themes that are being written, the words that are written. So it's actually also creating history on its own. It's
Indeed.
like writing history.
Yeah, in fact, to be honest, every concert is a history in itself, according to me.
Quite right.
Provided you take it seriously.
Yes.
Because it's never exact repetition of what you did in the last concert.
That's right. That's
It's
right.
It's a new journey. It's a new learning curve. It's a new challenge.
Absolutely.
New experience.
And then in today's this technology, this level of technology we have, it takes just a click that one particular song becomes globally, everybody's singing that song. So it is a unifying force. What else can you call it, really?
Of course. One click of a button, everybody can be united. So that's what I told. Rag Bhairav is Bhairav. Any part of the globe, it is Bhairav.
Yeah.
That's a unifying fact.
Quite right.
Whereas you see, Kannada spoken in Bangalore is different from Kannada spoken in Hubli. Within the language, I'm sure that's there in Punjabi also. Some part of Lahore or wherever it is different. Haryana, it is different. Still, it is Punjabi, like that.
Yes.
It's a great unifying force. That's why I said the whole universal music is the 7 notes, and that itself is the unifying factor.
Yes. I think we are drawing to our close of our time.
Yeah.
Anjana, if you're here.
Yeah, Anjana, she has to unmute herself.
Yeah. Sorry.
Please.
Thank you so much. Where speech stops, music starts.
Yeah.
And music is therapy. And we use it in mourning, in celebration. What a fantastic discussion. I learned so much.
I also tender a small apology. I just mistook the time and probably a couple of minutes late in logging in. I'm sorry.
No problem at all. You were not late at all. Just, I wish we had another half an hour. I want the discussion to continue, but unfortunately there are other sessions planned.
Yeah.
And I want to make an announcement. I'm really honored to make this announcement. Women's Economic Forum confers on Pandit Nagaraja Rao Havaldar, the Exceptional Leader of Excellence Award.
Wow.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Thank you.
We are honored that you were here. And Global Annual Women's Economic Forum confers on Dr. Meenu Bakshi, the Exceptional Leader of Excellence Award. Thank you so much for being here, Dr. Meenu.
Brilliant.
It was a wonderful experience. And these are digital awards. We will be emailing them to you within 2 weeks.
So
it was a pleasure to touch with you. Thank you so much.
This is only a beginning of a wonderful relation. We'll continue to interact and learn a lot more mutual. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And Dr. Meenu, it was a wonderful experience. Learned a lot.
Thanks to Women's Economic Forum and more to our dear friend Sai Lakshmi who connected all of us together.
Oh, excellent.
Excellent. Thanks to Anjana. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Bye.